If I go to the stores, how do they look? How's shopping going for the Christmas holiday? And do you think that you're going to become a go-to destination, given the fact that you're obviously offering the best bargains?
Yeah, Jim, I think it's going to be a strong holiday. Back to school was strong. Halloween was incredibly strong. Thanksgiving and Christmas will be too. I was in Canada last week. Same things happening there. Around the world, seasonal business is going to be strong, and we've got enough inventory to drive sales. We don't have everything we want, but as you saw in the results, we're up about 11% in inventory.
Okay, so let's go over what's going on. I have a view of the stock, which I said transcends the way Wall Street thinks. Doug, I think that you are determined to not pass on price increases. I think everybody has. Every retailer I go to, it's just much more expensive than it was a year ago. But not your place. Is it possible that you're trying to take share, or is there something even bigger about Walmart and its ethos, which is that you are not going to let the American consumer down because you're an inflation fighter?
Jim, it's our purpose. We save people money and help them live a better life. Those are the words that came out of Sam Walton's mouth. He loved to fight inflation. So do we. So, yeah, our cost inflation is higher than our retail inflation, and we could decide to pass more of that on. We're passing enough of that on to deliver for shareholders. I mean, the EPS results speak for themselves, but we're proud to try and hold prices down. And our conversations with suppliers today, tomorrow will be, how can you help us roll back prices and swim upstream and be different than everybody else? Now, we'll balance things. You can see in the quarterly results that that's what we did, but we start out trying to figure out how to help people save money.
Well, that should be a flywheel effect. People will come and see that you didn't raise prices, and theoretically that means for 2022 even more market share take. I love the way you took share in grocery, but I think you can extend to that. Is your playbook, once again, going to play into a long-term positive scenario? Or, Doug, is next year an investment year, and once again gross margins could be dinged because of how much money you're going to put into places?
But, Jim, I think it's important that everybody realizes that our business model is changing. We're making money in different ways. Walmart's become more of a digital company, in some ways more of a technology company. We're investing, as I think you know, to transform our technology and to work in different ways. And so we've got some businesses like the advertising income business in the U.S. We call it Walmart Connect, but it's also happening in India with Flipkart and PhonePe, in Mexico with Walmex. It's happening in Walmart Canada. We're taking these higher margin digital businesses and we're starting to scale them, which will help us with that purpose I described earlier. We'll have money to decide whether or not we invest it or it flows to the bottom line. And I think, that business model change is a significant development. And we'll be saying more about that in the future, but it's well underway and we've been talking about it for a while now.
It's David. If memory serves, you probably are still the single largest private employer in this country. I know Amazon's hired an awful lot of people over the last couple of years. But, what are you seeing right now on the labor front in terms of your ability to attract and retain talent, and or whether, you're coming up short in part as so many other businesses seem to struggle to find labor?
David, it's much better. Here in the U.S., we saw a pretty significant change as the government stimulus started to go away. And we are in full employment at Sam's Club U.S. Walmart U.S. a few weeks ago really saw a step change in hiring. We're not as concerned about that as we would have been, say, 2 months ago. We're in good shape for the holiday. We've hired a lot of people to help with e-commerce fulfillment and in our supply chain as well as in our stores.
Hey, Doug, the White House had some comments the other day about large retailers and the shelves being adequately stocked for the holiday. Did you give the White House any color? Can you share some of that? And also, some of these, I guess people are calling them novel practices of securing your own freighter to get containers to the U.S. Is that something you're actively involved in?
It is, and we're grateful for the help we've been getting from the administration and others to solve these problems. And one of the things I shared with the president is that our container count coming through the West Coast has kicked up significantly. Now, remember, about 2/3 of what we sell in the United States is made here in the U.S. or grown here in the U.S. So it's that other third. It comes from China, India, Canada, Mexico in particular. So Canada and Mexico, we obviously get some relief, but those containers coming in through the West Coast in particular, our team's done some really creative things. They found some property near one of the ports, which enables the drivers that are authorized to pull those containers out of the port to have a shorter drive so that we can then pick it up and take it ourselves for the longer haul. That is one of the things that the team's done creatively to get more throughput. Our truck drivers have done a fantastic job. Everybody's just worked creatively. And sometimes you hear us say that our scale helps us navigate these things. I think our experience and the creativity of the team is every bit as important as the size of the company.